Major changes will take place in our relationship with the LKMEX currency as of November 24th, 2022. There are many things that are changing. I will try to briefly explain as concretely as possible. First of all, from November 24th, no LKMEX token will be able to be transferred. No one is forced to switch from MEX version 1 to MEX version 2. The two versions of tokens will coexist in the DEX, without there being any time limit in which the user who does not want to switch from version 1 to version 2 will have to do something specific. The difference will only be in the sense of much greater benefits for those who choose to switch to version 2 versus those who choose to stay in version 1. Therefore, the average energy will be calculated from each account or wallet depending on the amount and the unlocking terms for the LKMEX version 1 that owns it. Once the average energy of each account is calculated, the user can convert it if he wants LKMEX version 1 to LKMEX version 2. Initially, there is no option to select 1, 2, or 4 years. Each account with the average energy calculated in LKMEX version 1 will be able to switch to LKMEX version 2, where it will receive 4 times the energy it has in version 1. Concretely, for someone who would like to have only 1 month to wait until LKMEX version 1 is unlocked, the conversion would give him LKMEX version 2 with 4 months of energy, and here a conversion penalty in MEX somewhere at plus or minus 16.66%. Whereas for a user who would have 1 year to wait in LKMEX version 1, i.e. the maximum, the conversion would give them LKMEX version 2 with 4 years of energy, applying the same 4x here as well. Obviously, in this case, the user will have a penalty of 80% if they want to change everything to MEX. As an important detail, it seems that the vast majority of users who have an average energy on LKMEX version 1 of plus or minus 6 months, which will mean a conversion to plus or minus 2 years of energy in LKMEX version 2, and therefore a penalty to convert everything to MEX of plus or minus 70%. What is important to remember is that all rewards received in the new system, regardless of which area of the DEX they come from, will be LKMEX version 2 with a maximum energy of 4 years. Thus, in MEX version 2, there is no longer the option to choose the desired type of rewards, LKMEX or UnlockMEX. However, those who wish to materialize their rewards will be able to convert them into MEX by paying the 80% fee. The interesting part is that the system will distribute the 80% of the total amount converted by the user from LKMEX to MEX as follows. Half will be burned, i.e. 40%, and the other half, i.e. also 40%, will be distributed directly to users depending on the energy they have. Thus, at any movement the system wins both indirectly through combustion and directly through distribution. The most interesting part here is that the user leaving the system will be able to swap out only 20% of the converted amount, while the system burns 40% plus another 40% that will be distributed to those who remain, so that with each exit of any user with a penalty greater than 66%, the effective system will become even more deflationary, and therefore more valuable compared to how it was before the exit of these users. This mechanism is something absolutely unique, and almost raises an eyebrow to those to whom you would explain it, as if there is an unnoticed subtlety somewhere, in order for it to work. I mean, what do you mean? Is it better if someone leaves the system? Will there be even fewer MEXs in circulation? And besides that, I will have more with their departure? Something is not right. This is how the MultiversX team presents the exit from the user's investment. I previously quoted from their statements. However, those users who will at some point want to withdraw a profit from this investment are us. You are the one who is incestuous now, and as the project now enjoys our support as investors, they will just as well penalize us up to 80% when we want to withdraw profit. This is truly unique, but in no way in our interest. But the principle of no good deed goes unpunished, it is more like a trap in which you are tempted to put your money in, but in which you will not be able to get it out too easily. It is worth emphasizing that LKMEX version 2 receives a flexibility that we do not find in LKMEX version 1, namely the idea of being able to convert to MEX, regardless of whether the time that is still blocked has not passed. Obviously, against an applied penalty, a penalty that will benefit both the system and its users. The fact that it becomes non-transferable in exchanges or third-party applications, which were not whitelisted by governance, makes it no longer tradable outside the DEX, and thus all fees and benefits will be captured by the system and those who stay here for the long term. Thus, the bleeding of any kind is stopped, whether we are talking about MEX or whether we are talking further about e-gold. With this new energy mechanism, any MEX will be able to be transformed within the DEX into LKMEX, and then loaded with energy for the period decided by the user, 1, 2, or 4 years. Thus, it is worth mentioning that the withdrawal from the energy of a LKMEX against a penalty is more advantageous when we withdraw energy from a LKMEX with a no longer blocking period, versus the same energy withdrawn from a LKMEX with a shorter lock-in period. For example, it is much cheaper to extract energy equivalent to 2 years from a LKMEX locked for 4 years versus a LKMEX locked for 3 years. In the first case, we would pay 33% fees, and we would transform LKMEX version 2 with 4 years into LKMEX version 2 with 2 years, while in the second case, we would pay a 50% fee to transform LKMEX version 2 with 3 years into LKMEX version 2 with 1 year of energy. The complete table and graph for this type of action can be found in the document. Well, everything is fine, and here we are talking about a concept of burning and sharing, thought out to the smallest details to work perfectly. Attention! Any conversion from LKMEX to MEX will also have an unbonding period of 10 days, similar to what exists now in staking on eGold or in meta-staking on DEX. This means that a user who wants to either convert his rewards or wants to exit the system by converting LKMEX to MEX will have to wait 10 days until the MEX is converted from LKMEX is available in his wallet. The interesting part that I added here is that during this 10-day period, the user has the chance, if they change their mind, to cancel this action. This will help the system a lot against emotional decisions made in the heat of the moment, often depending on market sentiment. This mechanism will make you think several times if you push the button or not, because the benefits are debatable, as long as your action will materialize only in 10 days from the moment you push the conversion button, during which time you will not receive any rewards on this amount you converted. Even if you decide this later, as I said above, you have the chance to cancel this action. Besides that, it is worth mentioning the bonus and incentive that it offers to users to convert LKMEX version 1 to LKMEX version 2. Namely, number 1, boosted APR and meta bonding between 2 times to 10 times for the first 3 months after launch, depending on the percentage of LKMEX version 1 converted to LKMEX version 2 globally. Thus, whoever converts LKMEX version 1 to LKMEX version 2 faster will get the biggest rewards. And 2, a free NFT that will guarantee those who converted from LKMEX version 1 to LKMEX version 2 with maximum energy, 4 years, a winning ticket to the next launchpad. Attention! The 2 bonuses listed above are valid if the user converts the entire amount held in their wallet from LKMEX version 1 to LKMEX version 2, and does it within the first 30 days after the launch of MEX version 2. Thus, the snapshot of all accounts was already made before the release of this document, on November 15th, and thus, based on all these snapshots and things and bonuses listed here, will be calculated and reported. In addition to boosted rewards from meta bonding, those who have LKMEX version 2 will be able to access and win boosted rewards both in meta staking and in certain farms that will be labeled as boosted farms. Practically here, in terms of base rewards, those who have LKMEX version 2 will also receive boosted rewards based on the energy that each position in the meta-staking or farm has, relative to the total energy in that meta-staking or that farm. I remind you that the new tokenomics makes MEX version 2 capped and deflationary. Already the new model makes it 65% more deflationary than MEX version 1, starting with the first day of MEX version 2. That is, the issue of MEX version 2 will be 3 times lower than the issue of MEX version 1, and in max 8 years, inflation will reach 0, so no MEX will be issued anymore. Now, all benefits go only to LKMEX holders, depending on the energy held. I also remind you that the meta bonding rewards will no longer go to eGold stakers, but only to LKMEX holders. I also remind you that for the lotteries that will follow on the launchpad, In addition to the stake in e-gold, the energy of the LKMEX that you own will also count. Thus, you can qualify for a better tier by combining the two things, staked e-gold and LKMEX version 2 energy. The details regarding the calculations on the tier based of the energy held will be established soon. An important thing that will give it energy is the voting power of each account for which the idea is proposed by the governance. So we will have finished the first such vote, in which the community will be asked to answer yes or no if they want to transition to MEX version 2 to happen. Depending on the strength of each account, these votes will be collected and materialized in an action to start or not MEX version 2. With the introduction of the concept of energy, we somehow shifted the paradigm of choosing between quantity and quality towards the latter. That is, 100 LKMEX with 0 energy are less useful and less powerful compared to only 1 LKMEX that has 100 energy points, 100 days locked. However, the MEX will receive a value boost that will further complement the utility of LKMEX version 2. Namely, it will remain fully transferable and tradable on our DEX, but also on other exchanges. Attention! It is very important to underline the fact that there will also be a bonus pack, which will be revealed soon just before the launch of MEX version 2, for users who will bring even more energy to the system by converting MEX to LKMEX. From here, everyone can make their calculations, prepare their strategies, and have enough time to settle things until LKMEX becomes non-transferable, but especially until MEX version 2 actually starts on December 8th, under the conditions in which we hope that passes the first governance vote. So whoever is interested in MEX version 2 becoming a reality should prepare their strength to vote. If you always want to stay correctly informed about everything that happens in the MultiversX ecosystem, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to make this project known, you can like and share this video. Thank you for following me until the end. Until next time, take care of your money.